Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Battle Report with Green Dragons Gaming. And this is Mark, Sir MC. And first thing, of course, I want to talk about is North American Masters, which is coming up very, very shortly. That's going to be here next month, being January. And there will be a link at the bottom of this for the dates, the websites. Please go ahead and sign up. It's going to be $60 for either the U.S. Masters or Grail Quest, which is going to be going on at the same point in time. There is a qualifier that Friday, and it is going to U.S. Masters will be 32 players from across the North American continent. We actually do have one gentleman who won a GT coming from overseas, but looks like everyone else is going to be here from the U.S. And that's it. So if you have not gotten an invitation, this is the way you can turn around and get in. And if you don't get in, again, there is another event which will be a qualifying GT for Masters for 2019, which will be getting played the beginning of 2020. So that's it. One suggestion I was given recently was I should talk less. So on to the main event. So again, Green Dragons Gaming, without us, they wouldn't feel like winners. Without them, we couldn't look so good. So I was down at Mountain Mayhem with Pretty Boy, hence his battle reports, and I know I'm lagging behind, and I do apologize. And I put up the one for the demons. I did that while I was down there. Grungy Music, aka Pete, just harassed me saying, "Hey, where's my battle report?" Before we do this battle report, I want you to know that I played him in Buckeye, and I neglected to put our battle report up because, as you guys notice, I have not been doing the battle reports as much. Just overall, just haven't been doing it. He beat my tail 19-1. I told him that before I start this, I will make reference. He beat my tail 19-1, and I only won 3 of my 5 games in this tournament. So, without further ado, it's going to be Dwarven Hold versus the Kingdom, which is what I call the Kingdom of Aquitaine. Grungy Music versus Sir MC 2015. So, here's the board. I forget what it was. It was Breakthrough with secondary objective and was Hold the Center. He's got a bomber, a chopper, an attack chopper. He's got a bunch of gunners. He's got a couple of juniors, aka Seekers. He does have a organ gun. He has a cannon. He's got 2 bricks of Seekers. One is a larger brick. The other one is small skirmishing vanguards. So that's what I'm looking at across the table from me. I'm going, all right, what the hell am I going to do with this? Because he's got perfect tools to deal with my army. And this is a very similar list that he pounded me 19-1. I just need to make sure I say that again. He beat me 19-1. So during this game, I deploy first, hoping for first turn. And I do not pray. At least I don't recall praying. The reason why is I already have 2 units that have 5-up ward saves. I really don't need much more than that. And I did have a, unfortunately, in my list submission, I should have had a Master Druid. It ended up being a Master Divination. So, and it was completely my fault, and I didn't want to take a penalty for changing my list. But it is what it is. And I'm going, really? How the heck do I deal with it? So I drop, oh no, we did do it actually. I prayed, drop for first turn, and this is how the board looks. I turn around and using my chaff, I chaff them up as you can see up here at the start of the screen. I shot off a couple of the crazy guys there, and I'm chaffing up his organ gun. You can see it barely. You see my my peasants, my mounted yeoman there. So in this picture, the mounted yeoman, did he shoot them? And I broke, I fled, and that allowed him to open up with everything else, I believe. All right. Nope, he shot him off the board. And he just literally opened up with everything, and I think I forced his hand as to what he had to do. He actually had to unload uh, the what was that? The handgunners and the organ gun to clear the chaff in this picture. So they did their job well. The other ones got charged by a vengeance seeker, so they end up dying, and he ends up overrunning. So this is how the board looks at the top of my turn 2. I know what comes next, and I'm not looking forward to it. So I have my choice. I can either run into Junior and try to overrun and then get flanked by the unit of Seekers, or I can try to get everything into the unit of Seekers. The Grails do not see the smaller unit of Seekers, unfortunately. I don't have really good options right now. So what I end up doing is I end up taking my brick with the impact banner there. Sorry, Knights of the Realm with impacts. Going into his Seekers that has a Dragon Seeker in it. And I throw the Knights of the Quest into his smaller brick. It is to note that his smaller brick has more ranks than he is wide. Therefore, he does not get your coming with me rolls. After close combat, I did quite a number to that unit. His Lord whiffed, just flat out, needing 2s and 2s. Between him whiffing and me making my armor and ward saves, I had 3 models that could hit him. Okay, 3 knights. All 3 knights hit, all 3 knights wounded. Okay, and he failed his saves, or I think maybe the horse did the final wound from those 3 knights. And he's going, I can't believe that just happened. I just cannot believe that just happened. Then the rest of the unit attacked. And as you can see, he got hit. He got hit hard with that combat. Over here against his other smaller unit there, he issues a challenge. I believe I accept with a unit champ, and I'm just trying to go onto the unit. I don't have much. It's going to be a grind fest here. So that's where everything is. So his turn, he tries to chaff up my Grail so they can't go ahead. He flank charges my Knights of the Realm. He does charge my Aspirants, which I believe I fled with. And yeah, that's it. He ends up shooting off one of my Grail Knights. And that's where it is. There's my Knights fleeing from some charge. That's him shooting off one of my Grails. And now it's my turn. I countercharge the Grails, so we're still going in. I did either 1 wound to his character, and no, he's got 2 wounds on his character, but the character's not dead yet in that other unit. I'm still working on that other unit. He broke from combat because I did so many wounds to him in the middle there, so all he has left right now are his Seekers. I rally my Aspirants, and the Grail Knights get in combat. During the shooting phase, I killed one of the, that's either the bomb or the attack chopper with my bolt thrower. So all I have to do is do a hit and wound. It's automatically dead because I'm doing a minimum 3 wounds. Do 3 to 5 wounds with that against a flyer. Over here, still plugging away. Obviously, my unit's not as big as it was a while ago. Plugging away with that unit. Over here, his character, that unit should die. Yeah, that unit there, including the character, is going to die. I turn around, I overrun. I've got the unit of Aspirants there on the flank. And that's where this all looks to be at this point in time. I had 1 wound on my general. And that is him. I believe I'm chaffing him, or he just moved up there. So over here, he puts his Seeker to chaff me up with the Knights of the Quest. and he's prepping for that charge that he feels is going to happen. So it makes perfect sense. It's only 3 wounds, and we'll see what's happened. Meanwhile, his miners came on. They're down below. He's going to try doing some taking out my war machines, because the damage is done by the two scorpions. At some point in time, I end up killing, as you can see, the bomber isn't there anymore because the scorpions took it out. However, neither are the Knights of the Realm, because he did manage to, or the Knight Aspirants. He did manage to take out the Knight Aspirants. He's trying to make a beeline for my deployment zone, because my deployment zone is breakthrough. So he already has the miners in my deployment zone. They came on prior to turn 4, and that's what he's doing with that other unit up there. And there's his cannon. I took out his cannon. I don't recall how I took out the cannon, or took out the bomber. That's what that was. That was me shooting out the bomber. Took out a Vengeance Seeker. His miners took out my Scorpion, and I'm still held up. That was an issue, is I'm still held up by that one Vengeance Seeker. The Vengeance Seeker should have died. C'est la vie. I charged the aspirants into the miners, thinking, all right, all I have to do is do 1 or 2 wounds. We'll have the same number of ranks, and I win combat. He breaks, and I run him over. Unfortunately, I completely whiff in that combat. Over here, the Knights of the Realm get a flank charge onto the his handgunners that were trying to make for the end zone there, for my deployment zone. They break, they die. Over here, well, first we grind, and I end up losing one of the grinds. In which case they break and die. And he kills him to a man. I don't break. He kills me to a man. So I end up moving to deployment zone. I had my mage out, just trying to do enough wounds to force a panic test. And that doesn't happen. So here's how the game ends. So I still have a large bulk of my points, where he's down to the miners, 1 Seeker. I don't know how he's down to 1 Seeker. That Seeker should, the miners and the 2 units of gunners, and that's it. Where I've got my expensive brick of knights and all my characters. So it was a handed victory. I think it was a 15-5 victory, but honestly, I don't remember. But it definitely was a victory for a kingdom. It was a great game. Pete and I, we had a blast. We had a lot of fun. But I have to make sure I keep stating, even though this was a victory for the kingdom, which I actually do think it was a 15-5, he beat me 19-1 during Buckeye battles. So that's it. Any questions, comments, or concerns, please feel free to post an email. And until next time, happy gaming.